from a theoretical point of view, that workload should have been manageable because it just would amount to about 300 cases per judge. But that is not the distribution pattern. You have courts that have as little as 10, 30 cases. And you have courts that have caseloads that are as high as 5,000 cases. Even the most efficient and able judge, who has only at most 13 personnel to help her, cannot possibly push the wheels of justice to grind faster so that it can result in a significant reduction of the litigation time involved. So that is one. I will have to tell the public that there is a distribution problem, there is a case-carrying capacity problem that is present. And this fact had not been examined for over a long period of time. Judges are lacking in the most congested cities with the heaviest caseloads because the determination of what number of judges to appoint to which particular salas is a legislative function. We do not have a say on that. In countries like Singapore and Malaysia, you have the Chief Justice and the Supreme Court deciding when to create courts and where to allocate them. We don't have that kind of statutory flexibility. And even if we have the limited power to make temporary designations by assigning more judges to the court, as you have seen, for example, in the Maguindanao massacre cases, we had already relieved Judge Jocelyn Reyes of his caseload and assigned assisting judges to her. But she still has to work with the same personnel complement, 13 persons, to handle all these cases. And mind you, this is a one-of-a-kind case where you have hundreds of suspects and nearly 100 accused and more than 100 witnesses presented so far. So this is the kind of systems problem that require a detailed inventory taking and analysis of the data. And this is part of my goal of making transparent to the public even the data that are available to us. If you had read the message in the annual report, I had already communicated a sense of dissatisfaction with the data that is existing within our institution. What I want us to start with is clean, clear, and reliable data. That is why I'm very grateful for the support I'm getting for the Justicia Decongestion Project, where for the first time, from the filing of the case all the way up to its termination, we are plotting the milestones and the number of days it takes for every particular step to take place. That way, our diagnostics of what ails the judicial system can really be evident, can really be based on hard evidence. We are not going to anymore just rely on theories to re-engineer the process of justice. The process of re-engineering also requires that I coordinate very closely with the two most important partners for the criminal justice system, apart from the Ombudsman, and these are the Secretary of Justice and the Secretary of Interior and Local Government. We had convened the Justice Sector Coordinating Council, and for the first time, I was able to inform the Secretary of Justice that the number one reason for the dismissal of criminal cases in the lower courts when they are related to drugs is the non-appearance of witnesses, especially police witnesses. You cannot have detention prisoners remaining in detention cells for years on end, waiting for the process to allow their cases to be accommodated and heard, and only for those cases to again be reset simply because of the absence of these police witnesses. So Secretary Rojas and I and the PNP agreed that when we serve these subpoenas to the police witnesses, to a central recipient that is equivalent to a service by the police witnesses themselves, to the extent that it is administratively possible to do so. The reason is clear why it has to be done and why we have to have a radical approach. You look at our detention cells nationwide, and I have visited prisons. I've gone to the provincial jail of Cebu City. I have spoken with the dancing inmates. And after they made a presentation, a very spirited presentation, before the Chief Justice, I went down among them and physically touching them, saying, I am here basically to find out how we can help speed up the resolution of your cases. You cannot understand the sense of irony I felt and the sadness that was there when, after dancing to very energetic modern beats, you would see these prisoners crying simply because they feel that a system should not be designed or should not be tolerated where their hearings get reset only every 4 months at the earliest, or even 6 months. That is something that is not tolerable. So the clear message is, it is no longer business as usual. We have been racking our brains to find ways to shorten litigation time. You would already have noted the rule on the efficient use of paper that we released during the last quarter of 2012 and followed by the judicial affidavit rule. Those twin measures are intended to not only save the environment through the efficient use of paper rule, but they are also intended to cut down litigation time by at least 20%. Because by way of the affidavits, the consolidation of all the witness testimonies, together with the documents attachment, that will